What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going to talk about how to edit street photography photos. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so on your computer, real quick, let's see. All right. So make sure that you guys have Lightroom open on your computer, as I do here. I have some photos loaded into the catalog already. And these are photos I took while I was in Seattle. I haven't showed any of these on my Instagram, but you guys just got in from a really great session of street photography, maybe with your friends, maybe by yourself, and you said, wow, like I really got some good photos. I feel like I got some good shots, but I don't know how to edit, or I'm not sure which way I should go with my editing. So these are some basic tips that I have for you guys when it comes to editing your street photography photos, okay? So we have Lightroom open. We're gonna go to the editing tab on our right-hand side. And usually I like to start off when editing my photos with a change in composition. As we're looking at the photo of this trolley, we can see that the trolleys looked off balance. Maybe I was holding my camera the wrong way, or maybe it just was an off-balance shot, a tilt shot, or Dutch angle shot, if you would. And I just want to kind of straighten the trolley up. I kind of want to, when people look at it, I want it to be level. And so I just go with a change in composition. I'll say that out. That looks way better than it did before. As you can see, this guy here in the window. And then I'm going to go into my exposure, or I may go into my masking. If there's a part that I really want to focus on, which I do want to focus on the guy here sitting in the window, I'm going to make a small radial mask, and I'm just going to bump up the exposure of him just a little bit. Mess with the highlights, mess with the whites, and the blacks a little bit, just so that it's not like overpowering it and too obvious that I edited that particular section of the photo. I do want to bump up the clarity because that's what I want people to focus on. Mess with the dehaze just a little bit. Mess with the noise reduction. All right, so I got him edited like I want. Now I'm going to edit the whole photo. All right, so we're going to bring in contrast a little bit, highlights a little bit, whites. I kind of want to bring in my warmth, but not too much, because I want to bring in these green tones. I want to kind of push the underlying green tones in the photo. Give that kind of like rough city look. I'm gonna miss my dehaze a little bit. I add a little bit of vignetting. That's mostly just for my personal taste. You don't have to do that. And then we go into the noise reduction again. And to me, now this photo looks a little bit better. It looks a little bit better than where it was at. It looks something that I would probably attach to like being a final product. And then we'll go and we'll save this one out. And I have a folder already designated for most of my saved files. I'm gonna let that load in real quick and then send that out. And it's gonna go ahead and export that one out. And each photo that I'm gonna show you guys as I take you through my editing steps, they are photos that, you know, I may use in my portfolio, or I may just use them for Instagram. Normally when I shoot street photography, I have in mind that I'm gonna capture for both, or just capture for one. If I'm out to make portfolio pieces, then I'm actually gonna be a lot more critical with my shots, a lot more critical with the things that are going to go into my portfolio. So here we have two people walking across the street here. And I could honestly drop this down just a little bit because there's a little bit too much information in the photo. And I want people to know that I'm really focused on the people walking across the street. The buildings, the cars turning in the background, out of focus, that's not really the way I want to go. And right now, sometimes with my street photography, I like to play around with different presets that I've already made. If you haven't seen my preset video, check up here. I card that right there in the slot so you guys can check that out on how to make your own presets. And I will play around with just the strength of it. I got this Fuji Superior. Kind of jumping around a little bit. And so you got the Fujifilm preset that I've made. And I'm just going to again add some more greens in, just a little bit, not too much. Don't want to throw the photo off too much. I'm gonna mess with my blues. I like the blue of this man's coat here, so we're gonna go ahead and mess with that. I'm gonna add my vignette in just a little bit, and yeah, there we go. There we go. I think this is, again, something that I'm particularly happy about. And I'm gonna go ahead and export this photo. And again, when you're out on the street, when you're doing street photography, you should have a mood in mind or a feeling for your photos. So if it's an overcast day, maybe your photos will be more blue toned, or have a bluish tint to them, or maybe they'll be desaturated. You know, they really sell that overcast feeling for your photos. If it's a hot sunny day, maybe you go for bright, vibrant colors. I don't know why I can't talk today. Bright, vibrant colors in your photos to really showcase that it was a bright sunny day, the colors were popping, the sun was out, you know, everything was just glowing, and it was a good day. You know, if you want to go for a dark, moody type of photo, very crushed blacks, you know, you're going for very almost desaturated colors again, or colors that have a deeper hue, you know, you could go for that. But you have that in mind as you're shooting, so that when it comes to the editing, you already know from the editing part standpoint what you were going for. Like with this photo right here, where I caught half of the tram in the frame and then part of the building, I knew I wanted this photo to be black and white. I already knew that. I didn't shoot it in black and white, but I knew that's where I wanted to go with it, because I just like the mixture between the brightness of the tram, or the way that the tram looked, versus the street, and to really give it that kind of grungy feeling. So I want to lower my exposure, even though I just dropped the preset in. I have a black and white preset, and I wanted to kind of mess with that a little bit to really just give it that street feeling. Nothing wrong with a good black and white photo for some street photography. Definitely makes for an interesting conversation starter when people see it. And that's really simple. And so I also edit, I have different ways of editing for when I shoot people and portraits on the street, and when I shoot just things, cars, buildings, people walking by. You know, those type of things will garner a different edit from me more than anything. So here we have the public market with the Ferris wheel in the back. Probably one of my favorite photos from Seattle. And with this one, again, it was sunny, it was bright, so I may go for a film effect. But since we are teaching you guys how to edit, and I'm not going to just jump right into a preset. And if you shot film before, then you know how to create a film preset, because you know the type of feel and look the photo should have. If you never shot film, it's best to get with somebody who has shot film in order to help you make a film preset, or get with, you can find people who've already made them and are selling them, and you can buy a film preset that way. I just like the feel of my own, because I feel like they're more authentic that way. and I shoot enough film to know what certain film stocks look like. So that's neither here nor there. I'm going to mess with my exposure just a tad bit, mess with my contrast. I'm going to bring my highlights down just a little bit, and I'm going to bring my shadows up a little bit, bring these whites down, bring my blacks down a little bit, and then again I'm going to go for a little warmer feel, throw a little magenta in there, push the vibrance up. Now with the red, now the sign looks like it's lit up a little bit. It's not overpowering, but it looks like it's lit up a little bit. So I do want to push that. I do want to push that out. I want to make those reds really pop, because I want you to feel like the sign is on. So that's where we go. We twisted the reds a little bit. I moved the saturation up for the red a little bit, and I brought it to a different hue of red. A -6 got me a little deeper red, and I brought the luminance up so that it feels like the light is on the sign. So I'm gonna mess with the clarity a little bit, vignette it just a tad bit, not too much. Don't wanna overdo that. Mess with the noise reduction. Then I'm gonna remove chromatic aberration and get my lens correction on. And actually, I can mess with the composition. I don't need the top of the building, because it's mostly about the sign and the Ferris wheel in the back. So I can cut off some of that sky. So it definitely feels different. As you see, the building's not really in focus because it's not what we're focusing on. We're focused on the sign and the Ferris wheel, which is in focus. And again, I can vignette just a little bit more because I want your eyes to be drawn to the sign. We don't care about all this extra stuff going on outside of the sign and the Ferris wheel. So we darken it just a tad bit, just to get that feel, get you drawn into the main focus of the photo, which is the public market sign in Seattle. All right. And last but not least, we got a yellow cabbie here, and this is, to me, probably one of my favorite street portraits. He's, minding his business. He's got his day going, and he's not focused on us, which I like. So we're gonna actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place a radial gradient where he is, just to kind of get him to, we want people to be able to see him, and I want them to notice him. Put a little warmth on the skin, a little clarity, a little noise reduction. Gotta defringe just a tad bit. Clarity up again on the photo. I kind of want a little moody, so I'm going to drop the exposure just a little bit. Up my shadows, up my whites, up my blacks. The yellow, I'm going to up the saturation for the yellow cab and the luminance. Just kind of really punch in that yellow of the cab. I'm gonna vignette, kind of darken the street, because again, our focus is the cab and the cabbie. Our focus is not really anything else that's going on in the street. Pop a noise reduction in, kind of enable that. There we go. I want to darken that up just a little bit more. And there you go. There you go. That's a photo I would post, honestly. Or even some that I may get printed. It's not really print worthy, it's more or less just Instagram worthy, but there we go, cabbie. So guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I know, again, this was a short one. I hope these tips help you guys when it comes to editing your street photography, and it brings you on the road to your success in street photography as well. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Please hit the notification bell at the bottom of the page of the screen so that you guys can be notified when I drop new videos. We got great content coming. I want to thank you guys for getting me to 200 followers. It's a great feeling to have that you guys are coming along on this ride and on this journey with me as we get into film and movies and TV, and as we learn. I'm learning, you're learning. This is a continuous process. So I want to thank you guys so much for this, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace!